thank you for such an opportunity you are giving to us. Manifest yourself through your word. Heal us and give us deliverance through your word in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Please may you sit down. Amen. Amen. Thank God for today. Such a wonderful service. And I thank my papa and my sweet mommy, first mama of the house, Amen, for giving me such opportunity to share the word of God with my fellow brethren. Amen. Without wasting more time, let's quickly turn our Bible to Luke. Before Luke, John chapter 11. John chapter 11. John 11. John 11. Help me sing this song before we proceed. I will put you in front of my melody. You are all that matters. You are all that matters. I make room for two. You and I, Jesus. You are all that matters. You are all that matters. Oh, way, oh, way. You are all that matters. Oh, way, oh, way. You are all that matters. God bless you. Amen. John chapter 11, reading from verse 1 to verse 30. Now, a certain man was sick named Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary which anointed the Lord with ointment and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore his sister sent unto him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom thou lovest is sick. When Jesus heard that, he said, This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified thereby. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. 6. When he had heard therefore that he was sick, he abode 2 days still in the same place where he was. Then after that saith he to his disciples, Let us go into Judea again. The disciples say unto him, Master, the Jews of the late sought to stone thee, and goest thou thither again? Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours in the day? If any man walk in the day, he stumbled not, because he seeth the light of this world. But if a man walk in the night, he stumbled, because there is no light in him. 11. These things said he, and after that he said unto them, Our friend Lazarus sleepeth, but I go that I may awake him out of sleep. Then said his disciples, Lord, if he sleep, he shall do well. Howbeit Jesus spake of his death, but they thought that he had spoken of taking of rest in sleep. 14. Then Jesus said unto them plainly, Lazarus is dead, and I am glad for your sake that I was not there, to the intent ye may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him. Then said Thomas, which is called Didymus, unto the fellow disciples, Let us go also, that we may die with him. 17. Then when Jesus came, he found that he had lain in the grave 4 days already. Now Bethany was near unto Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off, and many of the Jews came to Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, went and met him. But Mary sat still in the house. Then said Martha unto Jesus, Lord, if thou had been here, my brother had not died. But I know that even now, whatsoever would thou ask of God, God will give thee. Jesus said unto her, Thy brother shall rise again. Martha said unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. And he that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? She said unto him, Yea, Lord, I believe that thou art the Christ, the Son of God, which thou come into the world. And when she had said this, she went her way, and called Mary, her sister, secretly, saying, The Master is come, and calleth for thee. 29. As soon as she heard that, she arose quickly and came unto him. Now Jesus was not yet come into the town, but was in the place where Martha met him. Amen. I read all these verses so that we can know and understand really what the whole verse and the whole story was. Lazarus, according to the Bible, was a brother to Mary and Martha. Amen. And they were very best friends to Jesus Christ. According to the scriptures, they used to help Christ a lot during the ministry of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. They provide him with material substances. They cook and they set table for him, not only him, but also the disciples. Amen. But today's topic for the program is My Deliverer Will Show Up. Amen. Your deliverer will show up today. Amen. Our deliverer will show up today. And whenever our deliverer show up, whatever the devil has meant for your life, whatever the devil has planned in our life, sometimes he thinks that all hope is gone. Sometimes what he did to Lazarus, after Lazarus was dead, the devil thought that everything has ended. He has collapsed the family, everything is no more. We did not hear of Lazarus' wife, nor hear of Mary and Martha's husband. So as long as their backbone, which is their brother, Lazarus, is no more there, the family is scattered. But whenever the devil thinks he has succeeded, the deliverer show up. Amen. So today, your deliverer will show up in your life so that every situation that the devil thinks he has concluded, that everything the devil thinks he has finished in your life, your deliverer will show up and will deliver you from every infirmity. Amen. The place we just read, Mary and Martha and Lazarus were friends of Jesus Christ. So through their friendship, the Jews and the Pharisees and the teachers of the law begin to hate Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. Why? Because the pattern and the root and the teachings that Jesus Christ brought into the world was not equal to what the Pharisees were teaching the people in their days. Or that's not what the Jews were expecting. The Jews were expecting a certain doctrine that will support their doctrine which they were doing before. Or the Jews were expecting Jesus Christ in a particular way, that maybe he will be coming to them in a paraffin, or he will be dressed in a particular way, that he will show the kinship. Even whilst on earth, they will see the clear kinship in him, or he will be born from maybe a very rich family, so that they will know that is true. This is the Christ the Bible is talking about. But God, being so the wisest and the wisest and the wisest, used his wisdom and bring Jesus Christ, or brought Jesus Christ in a particular way that the world were not able to recognize him as the Messiah. Amen. So whilst Jesus Christ was friend to Lazarus, Mary, and Martha, the Bible says Jesus Christ left them for a while, because at that time the Jews and the Pharisees were planning or had planned to kill Jesus. Why? Because the preaching and the deliverance and the healing Christ is bringing to the people, it makes the Pharisees powerless. Because the teachings of Christ, how Christ is being operating, the deliverance and the healing he is bringing to the life of people, the Pharisees don't want that. They want to cripple people in their sickness. In the Pharisees, what they think is that while someone has sinned, or they believe in that particular law, they believe in the carnal law, that the penalty or the penalty of sin is sickness or illness. So as soon as one is sick, or as soon as one is in a certain infirmity, they want the person to die within that infirmity, or they always expect that person to be punished whenever he or she offend the law. Amen. But when Christ comes, he begins to teach us another way. He begins to teach us, and that's why Jesus Christ did not allow them to stone that particular woman who were caught direct in authority, because they always thinking that as soon as you offend the law must deal with you. But meanwhile, they, the Pharisees, and they, the teachers of the law, are doing the same thing in secretly. But since no one is above them and no one was able to confront them, they wanted Jesus Christ to follow the same pattern and allow them to do, or allow them to do the work of God as they thought or as they wanted to do. But Jesus Christ came and begins to show us the true meaning of worship. He came to teach us the true meaning of the law and the true meaning of the sin and the true meaning of how a person can be delivered from the hands of the wicked. So the teachings of the Pharisees and the teachings of Christ begin to struggle. And Jesus Christ always been the deliverer and always been the champions of champions. He begins to prevail over the Pharisees. So the Pharisees begin to notice that no, our teachings and our counsel, people are not giving us attention anymore. They are now giving all the attention to Jesus Christ. So if we were not able to remove this Christ, or if we sit down aloof without doing anything, a time will come, this Jesus Christ that we know, who just came yesterday, he will begin to convince all the people, and if care is not taken, the Romans will come and take all over our land. Amen. Amen. So the Bible says, while Christ was teaching, the Pharisees and the Jews begin to counsel against Christ. How are we going to get this man to kill him? Or how are we going to get this man to finish him? So that all these people who are following him, because the more Christ preached the word, the more deliverance and healing manifested, the more people convinced and the more people is still following Christ. So this Christ was a friend to this Lazarus and the Mary and the Martha the Bible is talking about. Amen. So when Jesus Christ left them for a while, the Pharisees and the Jews begin to come together and decide that, okay, now we are looking for Christ to kill, or we are looking for Christ to destroy. Since Christ is not there, you are the one who always entertained him when he came to this town. You gave him food, you served all the disciples. No, so now if Christ is not there, at least we will do something to you so that you may know we are the teachers of the law and we are the Pharisees. Amen. So the Bible said, as soon as Christ left them for a while, their brother Lazarus gets sick. Amen. Their brother Lazarus fell sick. And the Bible says he was afflicted within a short time. And Mary and Martha begin to think, no, we will not sit down aloof. We will not keep quiet, because we don't have anyone here. If something fell upon us, it's only Christ who is our Redeemer. It's only Christ who is our brother, who is our great friend, who helped us in our situation. Because in the situation of Mary and Martha, they were abandoned. They were given a certain name in that particular time. Because Mary, we did not hear the husband. Martha, we did not hear the husband. Likewise, Lazarus, we did not hear the wife. So there was a particular name or the particular thing that the people were always saying concerning this family. So when their brother died, they stood up and said, no, we will not keep quiet. We will not sit down for these people to continue traveling in our life, or we will not sit down aloof and allow these Pharisees and these Jews to always put us aside. But we will do something. We will act. We will not keep quiet. And the Bible said, Mary and Martha decided, and Martha stood, and Martha began to search for Christ. So Martha was able to locate where Christ was, and he went to him and said, Jesus, the one you love, the Lazarus you love most, though we are three, but in your doings or in your reactions, we have discerned that you love Lazarus so much. The one you love is sick. And the Bible says, Jesus said to him, your brother's sickness is not a sickness to death. So I begin to think, the message is our brother is sick. So why is that Christ is talking about it? Because Christ, being all-knowing God, knows everything that is going on. Christ said to him, though the sickness that your brother is sick, or that infirmity, that illness is not an illness to death. There are some sickness that even if you hear of, you don't get panic. Sometimes when a friend told you I have a little headache, or you just ask the person, why don't you go for a para or something, because you know it's normal to human. Sometimes overthinking and stress can cause headache and all that. So Jesus said to him, Jesus said to the lady, he said, this sickness is not a sickness unto death. But how and why is Jesus now telling her that for the glory of our Lord Jesus Christ, though the sickness is not a sickness unto death, but it's not a normal sickness that your brother is sick, but they have planned to kill him. But after they have succeeded killing him, I will come and I will resurrect him. So the Bible said, and when Jesus heard that, he said to the woman, and immediately the woman went back and told her sister. But when Jesus showed up in that particular area, the Bible said as soon as Mary heard that Jesus Christ is coming, he went to Jesus Christ. She went and wept at his feet and said, Jesus, Jesus, if you should have been here, our brother wouldn't have died. But Jesus said to him, your brother is not dead. Your brother will arise. And the same question that he asked Martha came again. He said, no, your brother is not dead. Your brother is asleep. And he said, no, Lord Jesus, our brother has died 4 days ago. And he said, I am the resurrection. So if anyone believes in me, even if the person is dead, the person will rise up again. Amen. So whenever Jesus showed up, and the Bible said Jesus and the disciple came back, the disciples even were not able, they were not trying to allow Jesus to go, because at that particular Judea, at that particular Galilee, is the place where they were trying, or where they have sought to plan and to arrest Jesus Christ and kill. So Jesus Christ, in his infinite wisdom, did not just went directly into the town, but he begins to survey around, because his time was not up for him to die. So he did not just go because he wanted to resurrect Lazarus, but according to the Bible, he said he went alone, and even before he was coming into Galilee, he did not come directly. He stayed at the road, or he stayed at a certain corner of the town, so that they will not just come around and arrest him. Though he was sent to die, but since the time was not up, Jesus will not just give his body anyhow. Amen. So the Bible said Jesus came, and when Jesus came, he asked them, where did you bury Lazarus? They showed him, and Mary began to say, God, don't even bother yourself. Don't worry. Lazarus is being buried 4 days ago, and by now his body is even decayed. So don't bother yourself to do anything. And Jesus said to him, but I have told you that if anyone believes in me, though the person is there, but he said, no, Lord, I understand, because I am a believer. I understand the principle, and understand that in the end of the ages, at the end of the ages, I understand that if a man dies at the end of the ages, if the person is a believer, he will rise up again. I understand all these things. And Jesus said to him, no, that is not what I told you. I told you that if anyone believes in me, and you answered, yes, you believe. But how come I said I am the resurrection and the life? So if anyone trusted in me, anyone believed in me, even though he has died, he will rise up again. So the woman began to think. The woman began to memorize what Jesus told him, though she wasn't able to capture it. Through faith, he said, Jesus, I know you are the Son of God. Anything thou ask of your Father, he will do it, even now. So at that particular time, what exactly was the woman trying to say? The woman was trying to tell Jesus that I know you. I know the power you carry. I know you were sent from heaven. So even if you ask your Father to raise my brother now, my brother will surely wake up. But why then that now The opportunity has come. The table has set in. Everything is ready. Now, you are beginning to drive back from what you said. So the Bible said, Jesus said to him, go and open the rod, go and open the stone from the tomb. And according to the power of God, Lazarus was able to resurrect through Lord Jesus. Amen. So what I'm trying to tell you is that whenever the devil thought everything is concluded, because at that particular moment, the Jews and the Pharisees and all of them think that since Lazarus is being buried, everything is over. We are sorting for Christ to kill him. Christ is no more there. Now the backbone, which is Lazarus, which is your brother, which is able because he's a man, because he carries more strength than you, who is the one helping you around, that one is also one go. So there is no place for you anymore. So when the Jews are rejoicing, according to the Bible, they call certain group of people comforters. They came to comfort the Mary and Martha. But in my studies, I discovered three categories in these comforters. We have this category of three comforters. One, they are the people who always came to you when you were in trouble. They came with a clean heart to mourn with you. They came with a clean heart to rejoice with you. Everything. They have nothing hidden in their heart. And we have the second class of people who also came to mourn with you. As they are mourning, they will be looking around, trying to know everything, the cause of the sickness, the cause of the death of that particular person. So before they went out, they will be able to explain everything. If you ask them, they may be able to give the minutes and the hour and the particular thing that happens to the dead person. They will be able to tell you everything. They are gossipers, but they come as comforters. And the third category of them that I noticed in my study are the evil spirit eye. As Papa was leading the prayer, he said every evil eye that is monitoring our life. I find this particular group of people also among the comforters who came to comfort Mary and Martha. Because the Bible said after Lazarus was resurrected, so many people believed. They were astonished. So they believed Christ and began to follow. And another group of people also went back to the Pharisees and told them, now come and look, they are the spies. They are the evil eye, the Pharisees and the Jews and the teachers of the law have set around the comforters. So they may come as comforters, but at the end of the day, they are with you or they are mourning with you. They are rejoicing with you with another mentality, or they are rejoicing with you with another motive. So the Bible said as soon as Lazarus was resurrected, they went back to the Pharisees and told them, come and see the Jesus you are sorting to kill, or the Jesus you are sorting to finish. He has come back, and this is what happened. Many have believed in him, and if care is not taken, by tomorrow, by this time, you all these Pharisees and the Jews and the teachers of the law, this guy will finish everything, and the Romans will take your land. Amen. So my point here is that whenever the devil has prevailed, whenever the devil has able to put a certain infirmity, a certain sickness in our life, whenever the devil succeeded to conclude a certain thing in our life, the devil became so proud and arrogant, thinking that there is no helper, thinking that there is no deliverance for you. But I'm here to tell you that there is always a deliverer. There is always a deliverer. All that you need to know is to act. All that you need to know is to come to your senses and know that wherever the devil begins to manifest, or in every sickness in your life, Christ has already laid a foundation for you and I. Every sickness that the devil has brought into this world, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ has already put in everything in place. So every sickness, there is a cure for every sickness. Amen. And there is always a deliverer to deliver you and I from every infirmity and from everything the devil has planned in our life. So the Bible said Jesus Christ showed up in the life of Mary and Martha. And when Jesus Christ showed up, all the Jews, all the Pharisees, and all the spies that came there were amazed, and they began to know, no, this Christ that we are hating, this Christ that we are sorting to kill is not an ordinary Christ. Amen. So whenever in the Bible Christ showed up, everything, the game begin to change. Whenever Christ showed up in every situation, situation, the thing changed totally. Because when Christ showed up in the life of Lazarus, everything changed. Someone who has died for 4 days were able to come back to life. The mourning and the crying and everything of Mary and Martha begin to turn into joy. So anything that is going on in your life, whether being affected, whether being possessed or any way, or any sickness that the devil have laid upon your life, all that you need to know is to just believe. Just believe and always know that we have a deliverer. We have a deliverer. We have a deliverer who is capable to deliver you and I from every situation. It doesn't matter how long the situation has been. It doesn't matter how and where the situation is coming from. Lazarus was there for 4 days by the greater God, by the mightier God and the deliverer. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ was able to bring back Lazarus from the dead. So everything which has been buried from your life, I prophesy over your life that it will come back to life in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. And everything that is tumbled begin to revive in the mighty name of Jesus. Today your deliverance will show up in your life. Today the deliverance will show up in your life. And every infirmity in your life, every sickness in your life, everything that is bothering you, whether from home, from Africa, anywhere, anything that is bothering your life, your deliverer will show up and everything will come to an end in Jesus' mighty name. Luke chapter 8. People who were so afflicted and Jesus Christ showed up in their life. There are so many people, Jesus Christ showed up in their life, and at the end, their sorrows turned into joy. Whenever Jesus showed up in the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, whenever Jesus Christ showed up, he made everything beautiful. Whenever Jesus showed up, the dead were able to resurrect, the possessed were able to deliver, and the oppressed were able to set free. Amen. Luke chapter 8. And it came to pass after that he went throughout. Luke chapter 8, 1. I'm reading from 1. Luke chapter 8. And it came to pass afterward that he went throughout every city and village, preaching and shewing glad tidings of the kingdom of God. And 12 disciples were with him, 2. And a certain woman who had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities, Mary Magdalene, Mary called Magdalene, out of whom went 7 devils. Amen. This Mary Magdalene was a great evangelist of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. According to the scriptures, this woman and some of the women with him served the Lord with his substance. Amen. He served God with his substance. After he was delivered from all these evil spirits and the possession, she was able to serve God with her substance. She became one of the greatest evangelists after the resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But at the beginning, this woman was under an oppression. At the beginning, this woman was under in a certain corner, a certain area that he wasn't able to do what God has purposed for her. Amen. The Bible says, people begin to see, or people begin to know this particular woman because she was a woman with the evil spirit. She was a woman that Jesus Christ in some time ago were able to drop devils from that particular woman. She was a woman with infirmity, meaning that she was so possessed to the extent that even her physical body was tormented. So Jesus Christ was able to deliver this woman, and a certain day, they met at a certain place with the disciples. And this woman's name was mentioned. This Mary Magdalene was a woman with a certain group of women who were now the woman who were possessed, the woman who was under a captive, woman who the devil thought that nothing good would come out from her. A woman who the devil thought that he has overwhelmed her with the demons and everything. A woman who the devil think that he have a certain infirmity. So now she cannot be useful to the kingdom of God. Now, by the mercies of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, this woman is now serving the Lord. This woman with another woman with them, with now helping Christ to fulfill his earthly assignment, now helping Christ with her suffering. So the Bible begins to tell me it doesn't matter what anyone is going through in life. It doesn't matter your beginning. It doesn't matter what has come over in your life. It doesn't matter what you have been through. The most important thing is where you are going. And where you are going is so glorious to the extent that if your deliverer show up in your life, as the woman Christ delivered 7 demons and infirmity from, a woman that the whole nation, the whole town thought that this woman is possessed, and now nothing good can come out of that woman. That woman was able to be delivered from the evil spirit, and now she became a great evangelist. And there is nowhere you can talk about evangelism and you cannot mention the name of Mary Magdalene. But Mary Magdalene at first wasn't a Mary Magdalene we know today. Mary Magdalene at first that we know, she was a woman who is possessed with evil spirits, who the devil has afflicted, who has so many infirmities that even her physical body will not allow her to do anything better for the kingdom of God. But when the deliverer showed up in her life, everything changed. When the deliverer showed up in Mary Magdalene's life, Mary Magdalene has now become a backbone of evangelism. There is no way you can call off evangelism without Mary Magdalene. Even she was the very first woman, she was the very first person that Christ revealed himself to after the resurrection. The very first person. The very first person. A woman with all these evil spirits, a woman with all these infirmities. If the infirmities and the evil spirits were not able to conquer her, if the infirmity were not able to put this woman in a certain corner, if this infirmity and sickness were not able to overthrow Mary Magdalene, today I prophesy over your life. Whatever you are going through in life is not to kill you, it's not to destroy you, but it's to make you strong in the Lord. It's to make you strong in the Lord. But only believe that your deliverer is always at your side. All that you need to do is to avail yourself. Mary and Martha said to themselves, we will not sit down, we will not keep quiet for these people to give us a certain name. We will not allow these Pharisees and our fellow Jews to treat us this way. We wet body. We are more than this. This is not our name. This is not our area. We don't belong to this particular situation. We don't belong to this particular area. So if you have done this to us, we will run to no one, but we have a deliverer. We will run to our deliverer. And according to what we read, when the deliverer showed up in their life, everything in their life totally changed. The history and the miracle that happened in the particular family was superb in that particular area, because in all the family of Galilee, we did not hear anywhere or any family that someone was able to resurrect from the dead. Only the family of Lazarus, Martha, and Mary. So I'm telling you today, don't kill yourself. I'm preaching to you today. Don't look so discouraged. Don't belittle yourself because of one or two things you are going through. All you need to know, you need to do is to avail yourself. Quicken yourself, shaking yourself, be strong in the Lord, and know whatever you are going through, as long as the deliverer is your Father, as long as the deliverer is the one who loves you. The Bible said, the one you love is sick. As long as Christ loves you, your deliverer has shown up in your life. Amen. Your deliverer has shown up in your life. Amen. So when we continue to read the Luke chapter 8 going, because of time I may not able to go through. But after this particular issue, it still happened to the disciples on the boat. The devil began to manifest again, and the people were almost dying. The water was full in the ship. They began to cry, Master, Master. As we are sinking, it seems you don't care or you don't know anything about what is happening. And Jesus were able to command the sea, and then the wind were able to come. So when Jesus Christ, when the deliverer deliverer show up in the life of the first. Though they were disciples, they have seen many miracles and many wondrous things Christ was doing. But that particular miracle surpasses their mind. Because at that point they were fishermen, so they know the difference between wind and storm. But that particular storm was so different to the extent that all their experiences on the sea, they have never experienced it. So they thought they have finished. But when Christ showed up in the boat, when the deliverer was able to stand and lift up his hand, everything was calm, and the Bible said the disciples were amazed. They were there when Lazarus resurrected from the dead. But yet, when Christ was able to calm the wind, the Bible said they were amazed. In every situation, there is a particular miracle or a particular deliverance that Christ brings to each and every one of us. Because we don't have the same situation, we are not having the same name, not from the same family, not from the same country, not from the same parent. So we all have our different faults, we all have our different problems, and Christ, being the Christ of all, knows the solution to each and every one of us here. So maybe my situation is different from yours, maybe your situation is different from mine, but in any angle you find yourself, when the deliverer show up in your life, everything that the devil think he has finished with you, God will turn your sorrows into joy in Jesus' mighty name. And after that, Christ was able, at that particular verse, the chapter 8, when you have to begin to read, I experienced so many things about the deliverance. Christ, I don't know if Christ was purposely designed that particular tree for deliverance, because after the Mary Magdalene issue, when he went into the sea, after the sea, he still landed in a certain area where the man who is possessed with the spirit of legion, Christ was showed up, and when Christ showed up in that particular man's life, he was the man that all the time everyone knows him, because he was a demon-possessed person. That even if you change the man with the demons, with the strong and the powerful demons in him, he was even able to break every chain like Samson. So because of the demons, and the demons doesn't want a worldly place, they always want to live in a particular thing and a particular forest. They were able to drop this man from his home. They were able to drop this man from house to the grave. And the Bible said this man has been there for many years. He lived in a tomb because of the demons, because of the evil spirit that was bothering this man. But when Christ was able to show up in the man's life, the Bible said the man was without clothes. But when Christ showed up in the man's life, the man was beginning to be clothed, and the man was set free, and everything was 100%. The Bible said when Christ returned, he said he find the man's mind in order. So my message for you today is that no matter whatever you are going through, as long as Christ is always there for you, as long as the deliverer is on your side, everything is okay for you. Christ will show up in your life today. Your deliverer will show up in your life today, and he will deliver you from every infirmity in the mighty name of Jesus. Just only believe and trust it that the Lord is always with you, and he is your deliverer in times of need. Amen. Shall we pray? Thank you, Heavenly Father, for your word. We bless you. Deliver us from our infirmity. Deliver us from all our mistakes. Heal our diseases. You said you send your word to heal our disease. We thank you that you have healed us. We thank you for your deliverance through your word. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.